Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Green Factor, a show where we talk about green design and the business of sustainability. I'm your host, Haris the Green Carpenter, and today we'll be talking about making a difference with your business. So, today we don't have a guest, but because I feel like I want to address this issue. Um, One of the reason is since yesterday was Merdeka, so happy Merdeka everyone. And Merdeka got me thinking about our past, our current situation, and the future of our country. And while we as a nation have progressed quite a lot in terms of economic and achievement, there's still a lot of issues in terms of social and environmental that we need to solve internally. And in order for us to move as a sustainable nation or towards a greener nation, we need a lot of help. So one of the main argument for solving the issue is a lot of people say that we need to have either the government or NGO that do all this work. Why would businesses want to um, adopt, or why should business care about these issues? Businesses should focus on maximizing profit and just do what they are good at, which is solving problem. Of course, there is a valid argument, but at the same time, we need to see it in a different way. Because one is first we have government, which they have limited in terms of capacity. They have a lot of bureaucracy issue. They have limited manpower and all that to actually solve all these issues. If we look at NGOs, we have a lot of good NGOs doing great work, but one of the things that has been problem for NGOs are funding. So for NGOs, they rely a lot on donation or funding from various agency or parties before they can do their work. So during COVID and during the lockdown, we saw a lot of NGOs are unable to operate due to lack of funding and various other reasons. So what makes why is it important for businesses to be part of the solution is because um, in order for us to make change, we need to mobilize resources, manpower, and money, right? So if we have to rely on a source of fund that is uncertain, then we can't really plan our plan properly. So that is why we see a lot of bodies unable to move without fund. So what businesses do is businesses go to where the money is at the capitalism system. So this is where we operate in the capitalism system. We make money out of it, and we can divert or flow the money that we get to our initiative. So in a way, we operate like a business, meaning that we don't have to rely on donation or funding, and we compete um, as businesses do, and the benefit or the profit that we create, we give to the cost. So in operating this way, we have we managed to overcome the government um, weakness, which is the bureaucracy and inflexibility, and also the funding requirement that NGOs have problem with. So that's why I feel like we need to talk about this issue on how businesses can be a solution to our social and environmental issue. And right now we are seeing a lot of businesses or a lot of so-called social enterprise that are doing all this interesting thing. And we are seeing it being done all over the world. Later, a little bit later, we will talk a little bit of the example and all that. But right now, we are seeing a lot of activists, which last time when we talk about activists, they normally they will go to marches, they will um, uh, be a tree hugger and those sort of things. But now activists comes from businesses, like entrepreneurs, activists. They work on the issues, they solve problem, and they find ways in terms of making it as a long-term solution to the issue. So that would come to the next question, whether if we use businesses as tool to solve a social issue, will it hamper other body? Like, would it mean that the government doesn't have to do their work or NGO doesn't have to do their work? No. What it means that it's a supplement, an addition to what government are doing and what NGOs are doing. So it becomes an addition or additional support to what um, to to help solve these issues. Whether it's long term, I would say it is, because if we operate in a business, our main interest is to survive for as long as possible and create as much revenue as possible. So we operate in a mindset that we need to compete, we need to solve problem, and we need to um, create a sustainable business model that can contribute to the profit and also to the cost. So I would say that it's a long-term solution, but a lot of this so-called social enterprise cause is for them to be obsolete, meaning like if an organization that works with refugees, for example, their work will be done once there is no more refugee. So they actually are working towards becoming obsolete themselves. But other than that, there are ways in terms of making it a long-term solution and how businesses can thrive and also the issues can be solved. So let's talk about how does what does other company what other companies are doing in terms of this issue. So I would like to take an example of Pizza Eats. So Pizza Eats is a social enterprise. They work with refugees. They make food for catering, for delivery, and they put it in such a way that the refugees cook the meal. They also some of the profit they use to develop the refugee families. They create school out of it. They do various other initiatives to make sure that these refugees have a good life here in Malaysia. And it's been doing really well for them. They have a good customer base. They have a lot of supporters and all that. And they have also worked with a lot of refugees and benefited a lot of them. So it make good business sense, and at the same time, it creates solution for the problem that we have. And another example is how what we are doing at the Green Factory. So for us, we look into two SDG. So one SDG 12. So SDG 12 is about responsible consumption and manufacturing, is it? Or production. So that is more towards the environmental side. We want to reduce our impact as manufacturers and create the best benefit for our our forest as well. So we aside from our processes, we look at the stakeholder that's involved and also other elements like, for example, forest management, education, and also various other issues that we want to champion as well. So we have the environmental element of the business, or issues that we work with, and we also have SDG 1. So SDG 1 is no poverty. So this is more of the social side, where right now we are working a lot with the B40 community. In our apprenticeship program, we have trained right now more than 20 apprentices. So these are mostly coming from the B40 community. So we work with local community and local youth. So right now, because of our initiative, um, the initiative actually, one of the reason we do it as well is because we want to have more participation of local youth in the industry, because as you most of you most probably know, uh, 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 Malaysia is one of the largest exporter of wood product in the world. Malaysia have exported to more than 160 countries. So the industry is very strong. It's very vibrant, and there's a lot of competition going on. However, a lot of the manpower in the industry are mainly foreigner. While there's nothing wrong with it, for us, we want to see how we can have more local youth becoming part of the industry. So when we moved to our new factory in Ampang, which is in 2017, we decided to work on getting more youth as part of the company. We have apprenticeship, we have internship, we're going to have our specialist program, we have part timers, we have end of school activities and various other activities to get used to participate in our business and operation. And right now, out of our 46 employees, 90% of our staff are local and 80% are below 35. So we have a lot of youth working in the industry, which is quite unheard of for a company, at least a timber company, to have those composition. But we are lucky to have those, and they are willing to work with us and grow with us as well. So by having SDG1 as our guide, we also want to elevate them uh, to go from B40 to maybe M40, to give them um, sorry, to elevate their lifestyle and also um, to make them be high net worth individuals. So for us, we tackle the environmental issue and also the social issue with using the business, and it's been working well for us. We have grown the company quite significantly, and we are getting more and more businesses in terms of uh, more businesses. In 2020, our revenue is more than 2019. Our 2021 revenue is more than 2020. So we are doing well and we are growing. And right now, we are actually having investors in, where we wanted to grow the business to the next level, and we have all these young youth as part of us, and they also will grow with us, and they will be the one that is gonna drive the business and also the cost. So it's there's a lot of other example how other companies are doing it. Uh, but maybe I think it's just a Google away. So if you just Google on how companies can change, or which are the example of companies that are doing things, you will find it. But what I want to highlight is right now we have a lot of this type of businesses here in Malaysia as well, and that is why I did the Green Factor. One of it is to introduce these companies to the audience, and also um, um, get their stories and have them share their experience so they can learn from or emulate what they are doing. So I did the show on three platform: LinkedIn, Facebook, and I compile it on YouTube. So do head down to YouTube, the Green Factor, where you will see all these companies and also what you can do to make your business more sustainable and successful as well. So do subscribe to our YouTube and learn from the guests that we have on the show. My next question or thing that I want to not to say explain but talk about is how businesses can supplement activism, or like the relationship between businesses and activism. So we have um, we have always seen companies doing CSR, right? So normally large organization, they would put aside money and they will do any CSR job. So it used to be that kind of model, but right now we need to have a higher level of thinking where we put the issue at the middle or the center of the company, so that when we make our decision, it's based on those issues. It's not like CSR, mostly it's a secondary thing where it doesn't really deals with the operation of the company. It only deals with a small part of the profit that goes into this initiative. So what we need to do is we need to see how we can convert all businesses to adopt this way of thinking, where we put the cost in the middle of the company, or we want to create more businesses or new businesses that are coming in to adopt this model so that it become part of what they do. So how does business supplement activism? It's a straightforward answer. So we make good business, doesn't matter what we do. So we create profit out of it, and the profit, we some of the profit we use to grow the business, some of the profit we use for our causes. So it's a straightforward relationship where the business act as a generator for the cause or for the activism. So that's how I am doing my activism. I can do it because my business is creating or operating in a way that enables us to do our activism work. So right now we are doing a lot of things like education, outreach, knowledge development, and even training out of our pocket, where because we believe this is one of the things we need to do as a business. And so it's a straightforward relationship, but I think what a better question is how activism supplement businesses, because if we keep on putting our money out, so how can the business grow, and do we make sense of the business model? So I would say based on my experience as well. So by having activism or cause inside of the business, we get few things. One, we get supporter of the cause buying our stuff. So people do buy because of cause. People do buy because of sustainability. People do buy because they believe in what we're doing. However, it cannot be the only reason you do business. And maybe people buy once, but if your product are not good, if your service are not good, they won't repurchase. So we need to act as a business. We need to make sure that what we do makes sense for people to buy or to recommend, and basically operate like a traditional business. So the I haven't answered the question, but right now I want us to have a clear ground on what we are doing. So how activism supplement, one, you get supporters. So if your product is good, your service is good, your marketing and all is good, there will be repeat buyers and people will continue support the business. So you get a group of loyal customer if you can serve them in a proper way. So that is one, you get and this type of people, they don't mind paying a little bit more because they believe in the cause. So by having that, you're in a way having a less price conscious consumer. It's not they don't care, but they are willing to pay a little bit more. So you get to tap into this market. And second, it helps with the branding of the company. It helps with the image of the company. So in that way, it helps in our brand building. It helps in terms of getting sales. Like for example, right now we are getting a lot of businesses from the corporates. We work with Coca-Cola, we work with Rolls-Royce, we work with Acer, we work with various other corporates that want our solution because one, because we have the cause, and second is because we make really good quality product, and the design is also good. So to make a good business, you need to have all the element of good business, and then the additional of your cause implemented. You cannot rely on the cause as the only reason people will engage with you. So there is the second one, which is image and help with brand building, and it also help it also helps us in terms of decision making. So when we make decision like buying new machines, we will look into which model is more sustainable. Like when we want to buy our new lorry, we look at the most eco lorry that we can afford, and like other things like one which coating we want to use or whatever. We have a guide in terms of because it's in the center of the company, right? So we need to ask ourselves, like, is it sustainable? Is it eco-friendly and those kind of things. So it helps us in our decision making. And also, I think one of the main thing that I would like to highlight is for us, we get it's easier to maintain and get talents. I'm seeing a lot of company in my industry are struggling to get young people coming in, but for us, we are lucky to have intelligent or good people wanting to be part of the organization. We have engineers, like the youth that we work with. They are some of them are engineers, designers, electrician, bioresource. So from various backgrounds, and these are like smart kids. They are the Dean's List kids. They are award winning kids, and they want to work with us. So we are lucky. I'm lucky to have them as part of the team, and one of the reasons they want to work with us is because of the cause, and also because we make awesome things. So so it does make a good sense to have a cause or activism in your business. So before I continue to the next one, I think one more thing I want to add: the benefit of for us is sustainability, right? So because sustainability is also about efficiency, so we have a lot of system and thinking in place where we want to reduce our costs and also reduce our waste. So for us, we have a lean manufacturing. We have 5S. We also have international certification like PFC, a Euro certification that states that our wood comes from sustainable sources, and this system helps us in terms of managing our waste and also our making sure that our material comes from sustainable sources. So by having the system in place, efficiency in place, we managed to reduce a lot of our costs in terms of efficiency. And also because one of the things that because of sustainability, we are moving towards zero waste manufacturing, where we want to reduce our wood waste. So if you see a traditional timber manufacturer, they will throw away the small wood pieces of cuts and even their sawdust. For us, we keep them and either use them or sell them. So that's why we want to reduce as much as waste to landfill as possible. And so far, we had last time we have around 30% waste, and right now we have around 5, 6, 7% of waste that is remaining. And within these few years, we want to get our waste to 0%. And by having that, actually, because we are moving towards that, we use our small wood pieces. It actually becomes our a new revenue source. Like for example, our phone holder. So this is actually made from our offcuts, and this is now one of our best sellers. We have sold thousands of it, and other small things as well that we make products from our small wood pieces. We create revenue source. So just by wanting to reduce our waste, we actually make new revenue source. So there's various other benefits that businesses can take advantage by having activism inside the business. Okay, so that is one. And then I think before I end, I want to uh, have this question: how can companies have happier workforce? Right now, there's a lot of issues of maintaining talents. There's a lot of issue of getting talents and all that. And there's a lot of issues of like quiet quitting and various other workforce issue that is becoming more and more prominent. And I'm seeing what can make this kind of people stay with you or come to you is if they are happier or they have focus, they have a purpose. So once they have a purpose, sometimes it's not really about the the salary. Sometimes right now I'm seeing a lot of youth that believe in a cause and they wanted to do things that have meaning, so that when they on their deathbed they see their life, they want to see that I don't just work for the sake of working. If I'm what they want to see is what I'm doing contributes to something, contribute to a larger cause. So that's why it's this kind of thing that attracts the younger talent, especially the Gen Zs. So if you want to work a lot with the younger generation, you need to have a purpose in place. You need to have a reason why they should work with you, and by having this, hopefully they will be with you for quite some time. But whatever it is right now, it's a bit difficult to make the younger generation stay with the company for quite some time. Even for us, for me, I've have this mindset like most of them won't stay with us for quite some time. They won't be long term with us. But what I wanted to do is when they are with us, we give them a lot of opportunity to grow and to explore, and at the same time be the best person that they can be. And while they're with us, they can contribute as much and as much as possible lah, or as efficient or as good as they can be. So we need to have some shift in terms of the whole operation to make it relevant to the younger workforce, and also the mindset behind it. So hopefully by having this session, I have addressed some of the issues or the question, the FAQs that I always get in terms of business and activism. And hopefully by having this session, it can help more businesses or more individuals to look into this issue and to help with the cause, help with the issues. There's a lot of issues that we need to solve in Malaysia and also all over the world. So if we can do something, either through our words or our business or whatever we are doing, then we can contribute. I used to think that 1% cannot make a change, but actually it can. So I end the session with a story. So I started the journey towards sustainability 10 years ago, where I started to work with recycled material because I believe that the industry isn't really sustainable and we create so much waste. So when I do it, I thought like, why doesn't anybody do it? I've looked into the industry, I've looked into the government agencies and all that. Nobody wants to do anything about it, and it's very difficult for me to push for this thing. But I just keep doing my stuff. I believe in what I'm doing. It's hard at first, but right now we are reaping the benefits of being a pioneer. And right now, I'm happy to share that the industry have changed, and I've been given the opportunity to share my story to help with companies in terms of getting them to be more sustainable and being part of policy making and work with the agency. So right now, a lot more, basically more people would want to hear what I say. So it's a long term game, and 1% that I believe like when I do it, I say to myself like I cannot do it because who am I? I'm not long in the industry, and I'm just 1%. But right now, seeing back with the things that I do, I seen a lot of effect that 1% can make. So same as you guys, if you have the mindset that there's nothing you can do or there's only limited thing that you can do, that actually is not true. So there's a lot of ways to do it, and you just have to believe that you can create change. You can, your word have value. So with that, I would want to end the show. If you find this episode beneficial, do share it. If you want to continue learning, do follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and I would I'm I would like to thank you guys for listening to what I have to say, and see you next week. And as always, have a green week ahead. Bye bye, guys.